am Katie from Desmos. I lead business development and partnerships at the company. And a little bit about us. We're a 17-person organization based in San Francisco, and we focus on mathematics. And our mission is to help all students love learning math. My background previously hailed from McKinsey, where I think I can do everything, as we heard from a previous presenter. And then I actually moved into education at the district side. So I was living in New York City and heard that a lot of innovation was happening at the New York City DOE. And so I moved there and helped with a program to invest in technology and personalized learning software. I learned a lot of great things, and particularly around the challenges of rolling out infrastructure to schools and working with hundreds of thousands of students in technology. And one other thing I observed is we're pouring a lot of money into this industry, and not all of the software is necessarily high quality, right? And we can do all this work to get the teachers trained, to get the laptops rolled out, but when the student sits down at her computer, is it actually a product that's helping her understand concepts that were previously difficult for her? Goes without saying, STEM is a massive challenge in this country and around the world. So when I learned about Desmos and the challenges they're solving here through mathematics, I said, I gotta be there, I have to be a part of this team. So I've been at the company for about a year and a half. So Desmos, we make powerful, fun, beautiful, free, accessible math software. And our business is that we license this software to partners, to enterprises. These are companies who have a need to make their own math curriculum more engaging, interactive, and accessible. We also work with test makers who have a need to get a great calculator embedded onto their assessment. The company, I don't think there's a slide on this, but the company got started in 2007, actually. So similar to a few of the folks who've gone before, we ourselves were also a tutoring company. And our founder believed, hey, if we just get an hour with each student every week, we can change learning outcomes. It's harder than you think, and I'm sure other people have been involved with initiatives that it's tough to do that and to achieve the kind of skill you want. In building that product, he realized he actually had stumbled upon a tool to teach mathematics using multiple modes of representation. So first of all, how many people have heard that phrase, multiple modes of representation? Yeah? And how many people here have heard of Desmos? Okay, a few. So all of our technology is built on the belief that if a student is struggling with a concept, if she can see it and also interact with it at the same time, she's going to understand it far more powerfully than if she were to just read it out of sort of a static textbook. These are some examples of what students have built using our on-screen graphing calculator. Most of this is built using domain and range mathematics, which is taught anywhere between 5th and 7th grade. Students will spend hours on the technology to get something like this right. And what we often hear is it's students who may have come into class saying, I'm not really a math person. And then they find out they can do art and they can do other things they didn't know were possible, all the while getting deeper and deeper into math. Some numbers. If you look at this chart, the blue line is Google searches for Desmos. The red line is Google searches for the phrase graphing calculator. Speaks for itself. We're pretty pleased with the work we've done. We see about 4 million teachers and students using the website and the apps every month, plus probably, if we had to estimate, getting up to about 10 million all told if we also included number of students who are accessing our technology through a partner's platform. Accessibility, this is really the meat of what's new of what I want to show you today. When we started researching what's the best in class for graphing for students with low vision or who are blind, they were using something called WikiSticks, which is wax. It's cumbersome, it's obviously not adaptive, takes a long time for a teacher or student to set up. We said, we think we can do something better than this. And so this is just a snapshot of what our calculator looks like. So a sighted student might come on, plot the line for sine of x, and she would see a graph, and it would make sense, and she could change the parameters and see the graph change. Blind students couldn't do this, right? They couldn't engage with the full extent of our product. And when this was brought to our attention, it broke our hearts. And so about a year and a half ago, we hired a fully blind engineer on our team who has since taken a large part of our technology, but there's still more to do to make it work for him as a blind user. So listen up. This is what we've built. So you might have noticed that the sound kind of moved across the screen as that happened. It also sounded a little bit like it was underwater. So this is patented technology that we built this year. And a quick plug, we announced actually today in USA Today, in EdSurge, 74 million, Quartz, Bloomberg, CNN, we're actually partnered now with Smarter Balanced. So 15 states in the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium have the option to use this technology. 11 have said yes, and they're starting some this year, some next year. And for any of their blind students, they're going to be accessing math using this fully accessible calculator. Any ideas what this one's going to sound like? Any musicians in the room? Anyone know what that was? Oh, DeJoy. Perfect. Great. And a little bit more on this. We've taken a step farther than just screen readers. I'm sure some of you are familiar with the assistive technology that all of our hardware has built in. But we're also now investigating how to work with Braille. And so we've done a lot. These are two languages that Braille students might learn, UEB and Namath. And so we're now working for students to be able to enter math in Braille or see the output of their equations in Braille. Quickly, we've been working on some other tools. Recently launched a geometry set. Still has a way to go, but it's a lot of fun. The big difference you can see is that you don't need to enter algebra to get objects on the page. You can just drag, create a line, create an array, and create movable objects across the site. Other calculators that are simpler. These are intended for the assessments. Some of our major partners, AIR, Pearson, Smarter. I'm running out of time. More partners. That's it. Come talk to me. Looking to meet companies who might have a need to make mathematics more interactive, or assessment companies to do the same. Thank you.